that can play Lee Sin and play it damn well. So expect a lot of those early lock-ins here. But TT actually go towards the Annie. Not particularly an uncommon early pick, but when something like the Varus is also up and available, kind of surprised that wasn't snapped up here by Huanfeng. So you have to imagine that Sssum is going to get his hands on this one, and Leyan will likely look towards his jungle.
Ashe is still on the table, yeah. And
Okay,
typically we've seen a lot of bans levied towards Ashe, but they just get so much poke, so much setup, and a lot of utility coming out of the bot lane of RA.
Yeah, you know, sometimes a champion is just banned so much that you kind of just default ahead to, oh yeah, this champion's not available, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it was left up here. With the mid lane focus bans there from RA, typically it's Ashe that's banned on red side still. It does leave it up and available. TT gonna go towards the Nautilus because they know they're dealing with 2 AD carries in the bottom side. So in the mid game, they're gonna have very solid forms of engage. But in the earliest stages, if RA aren't really engaged on or aren't really moved, that early laning phase is gonna be a little bit rough. So TT gonna need to bolster up with something in the lane in the AD carry slot to at the very least kind of step up to the range and poke.
I actually really like this from RA though. It's BKR's first and getting a little bit of Otis on him. Have a lot of the setup and communication coming out of the bot lane at least. We do see the Wukong locked in, so a lot of that forward aggression still being the name of the game for TT.
Yeah, and we said we wanted to see a strong mid jungle here out of TT, and I feel like Annie plus Wukong really, really solid and hard to deal with skirmishing at level 6, right? Tibbers, double Cyclone. How do you really get past that? Especially in Strive champion pool, do you have to play something at range now? What's really the option? The Gragas is going to come out, and of course we've seen it flexed a lot towards the mid lane. Can be played in the jungle, and of course historically and very recently it's been played up in the top side. So 3-way flex there for RA, so really holding their cards close to their chest on this one. And hey, even the bottom side of the map, the Ashe and the Varus can technically flex around, though you'd expect it will be the Leaf Valley Varus in the AD slot. And now RA are likely going to look to remove away a couple more ADs from the pool, because that is something that TT are in desperate need of. They could also potentially throw out a ban towards the Ziggs too, just because it's a Huanfeng special, but they ban away the Gnar.
I like the Gragas though. That's been just rising priority. Provides so much spacing, but also that flexibility that you're talking about. Now we will see some of these bans levied, at least to the still in priority junglers that maybe RA want to go towards. There's the Lee Sin ban away by TT. See what the final ban maybe towards this top side is from RA.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what they're thinking about. If they ban something like Gnar, they could also ban out a very safe top side like Renekton potentially. But when you've got the Gragas, do you really care about that? They will eventually throw at least one ban towards the bottom side of the map, and it will be the Kai'Sa of Huanfeng. So might have to dig a little bit deep here. Does have a couple of options, I guess. Zeri's available if you want to go towards that in this kind of slot. Against Varus and Ashe in lane, it could be a bit rough, but of course it's always going to scale up to be quite strong. Dare I say Aphelios against Varus Ashe? I feel like that's a little bit too much poke plus the Gragas, so I feel like that would be a pretty rough AD to lock in here, as Vi's gone as well. So it seems like RA are going to potentially just press the Sion button and hold on to this jungle mid-flex of Gragas. Either I think it works really well. Last second top of potentially... What are we going to get? What do they want? They want the Sylas. Okay.
All right, so we get a little bit, and I think, you know, being able to steal some of these ultis will be pretty nice for RA, at least in a lot of their CC, man. I'm just looking at their spacing and CC they have, and my goodness, it's going to be hard to navigate for TT, but I'm looking for a little bit more stability and, honestly, a little bit more damage for TT.
Yeah, that's my big concern here for TT, is they do kind of need, you know, a true big DPS.
Well, there you go.
You've got
in the late game at least.
Yeah, you know, Ksante can definitely be quite frustrating. I feel like if he does get on top of any of these RA champions in that all-out form, he's definitely going to cause a bit of a ruckus. My big question is, what does Huanfeng want to go towards here? Do you just throw out the Zeri and just say, you know what, laning's going to be rough? Like, laning's going to be rough, but, you know, we'll get to a point. It seems like the answer is yes. There's not a lot of, you know, point-and-click CC, which I feel like is a very big thing in locking down the Zeri. Of course, however, there is a lot of CC and zoning tools, like you were alluding to earlier, so it's going to still have to navigate these fights quite meticulously, as I feel like Sion is probably just the pick here. You're into Ksante, there's no true tank buster on the enemy team. You're going to be a bit unkillable after 2 items, and I feel like this will just be the correct kind of way to round out your composition to ensure that you've got that strong front line when you've already got the Gragas and the Sylas.
And something a little bit stable to play around the rest of the map with as well. But the big focus for me now has to be Strive versus Ucal. Back to it, right? What we said at the very beginning, because we got Annie versus a Sylas, and Strive's one of Strive's very comfort champions itself. And trying to kind of up in this mid lane is going to be an interesting task for both junglers.
Yeah, I think pre-6 RA definitely have a bit of an advantage there in the mid jungle. I feel like the CC combination of chains plus the body slam is.
I mean, it is a belly
powerful.
slam.
It is a belly slam. It's very, very powerful, and I feel like TT don't necessarily have the damage or the CC to respond in time of week number 8. Can you believe it? Time has flown. But so important in the early stages. It has, it's so fast. Early stages, super important for Ucal, for Strive, both sides here. I feel like you can take control of the mid lane, and I think this bottom side, being as volatile in the poke department as it is from the side of Rare Atom, if you can shut that down as TT, it's huge, right? Getting the Annie and the Wukong combination to roam up, or roam down rather, to the bottom side and shut that down. Or if you're RA, capitalizing on the pressure that Sssum and BKR should have in the 2v2 poke.
Little cheeky vision on the top side of the jungle against RA here. I love the early movements from TT, just trying to get as much communication as possible across the team.
Yeah, I mean, Leyan, again, you know, he is one of those vocal members for R8 in the early game. And like we said, he's usually on carries and such. Gragas can definitely be a carry in his own right in the jungle, get a good couple of kills in. And this is something you see a lot, actually, from Ashe Varus lanes, Ashe anything lanes, really, into a melee support. You kind of just haphazardly walk forward, walk through the tri-brush, you get a whole bunch of poke damage down, and again, just utilizing the range here advantage into Nautilus, and Sssum and BKR just going to take complete control of this wave.
And we have to also realize again that this is BKR's first foray here for the RA squad, coming in as the substitution into the starting spot for RA, and trying to utilize this double ADC bot lane here. Got to be a little careful against Yao Yao. That engage will come back, but we do want to take a look at where these junglers are heading. At that bottom side start for Beichuan, as well as the Leyan top side start. Maybe a little bit of finicky pathing, but has been spotted out on that, I believe.
Yeah, Leyan did get spotted out, and he's actually taking a 3-camp reset.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Oh, he has Predator. He doesn't have Dark Harvest, so this is something that you used to see back in the day. But usually there'll be a one side of the jungle clear, right? And then you path to the side of the map where you still got your jungle camps and where you want to attack with Predator. So this is potentially going to be a very, very early
really one of the boots.
attack at a lane. Yeah, just really one of the boots. Does make ganking very, very
he's pinging
powerful
mid lane.
and scary. Yeah,
this is the focus we wanted, Jamada.
I mean, they win the early, 2v2 at level 3 through 5. They need to take advantage of it right now. And I think
Ucal has the stun up. I don't know if there's much that they can do about it. And they're going to try to get it here. Ucal will go in. Nice quick flash from Ucal, though.
Yeah, really nice response. Really nice reaction time. And Ucal.
Hey, Strive, Annie hurts.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Strive actually, I guess he's not 2.6. He doesn't have W just yet. We'll tick over 4. We'll likely skill that up. Sometimes in these range matchups, what you will see is you'll see W max, just so you can maybe get in the face of the range champion and heal so much that even on the walk away, you'll be fine. But I feel like against a champion like Annie with the every 4th spell stun, it might just be a little bit too hard to trade into that, and especially once level 6 is coming.
So I am seeing a real need for Leyan to get something off this quick back, because he has definitely hindered himself in the jungle clear department, and you needed to kind of see that payoff from the early Predator. We didn't get to see that, so now it's about building off of that here.
Yeah, absolutely. Falling behind in the CS, right? And Beichuan basically got a full clear and is now returning to that full clear.
He's
in the
just
mid lane.
going mid over and over again. The body slam of Beichuan. He wants Strive. One more auto. Can he get the extension? It's not enough. Strive gets out with a quick flash himself, but TT are responsive in the mid lane.
Yeah, Strive has to flash backwards. Once he misses those chains, it feels like Ucal's pretty much always out. You need the CC chain to connect. You need the whole combo. In this instance, Leyan doesn't quite get that set up for himself, and the response is swift from TT. Beichuan was literally at Raptors, so very much able to respond. But flashes now not available on everyone but Leyan. So hopefully he can get back towards the mid lane and
really
try
didn't
and
like that Strive missed those CS, by the way. he was really
not
happy.
upset
about it.
It was not happening. It was, you know, I feel like it might be an evolving meme because we've had a lot of the observers.
We've had that a lot. Whatever, it's just the casters calling it out or something at the time. But I do want to refocus in because we have our first dragon spawn. And I want to see if we do have any early focuses here for this. And we were talking a little bit about Leyan getting involved early and maybe a little bit pathing down towards bottom lane as well.
Yeah, definitely could do. But I feel like it needs to be kind of a pair from both sides, right? But I feel like for the side of RA, if you're going to get a lot of poke onto Yao Yao and Huanfeng just because of the range advantage you have in that matchup, then you want to be able to try and capitalize on it, force them back off of waves, dive them if they try and commit for it. That's what you need from the side of RA. So like you said, Leyan definitely could make his way down here, and the wave is being held in a very, very painful spot for it to be in from the side of TT, where you have to just kind of overextend, walk up. We'll see what wave clear can be had. It's definitely going to be hard to break this freeze.
Maybe a little bit of intervention coming down at some point in the far future, but not right now. As Yao Yao had made that roam towards mid, just looking to see what he can get going. Can't find anything just yet. We'll go back to play out some of this warning though. Strive is kind of just looking for it. Does get that depth charge as 6 has been hit in the mid lane. So Leyan refocus towards this bottom side, maybe even this dragon.
Yeah, and you know what, depth charge is great for setting up
What
ganks
is it?
in the mid lane
No
specifically.
way.
So, who would have thought, right? So don't be too surprised if Leyan tries to, you know, capitalize on the fact that is there, or
They're
Strive
pulling
tries to
Strive
move down
over.
to the bottom side. Yeah. Predator's
Oh,
bot.
he popped Predator.
He's
That's a
nowhere
fast
near
big boy right there. Watch out. Oh Lord, he coming. He didn't go anywhere though. He didn't go anywhere.
No, he didn't. He's just gonna go back to the skull crab. No harm, no foul, I guess, for now. But you can definitely tell that the intent is there from RA. They really want to get a play going at the moment. Just not quite able to find it. But again, the mid lane attraction.
It's just continuing to focus Ucal. He's like, but he knows. We said at the beginning, if Ucal succeeds, TT succeeds. So what do they need to do? They need to make sure Ucal doesn't succeed.
Yeah, that's right. Now,
Oh, he used a little bit of extra pathing. The flash, the casket, the knockup. The Ucal with the flash of his own, and the Timbers back. Leyan, he's about to go down. First blood to TT. And they'll continue their first blood streaks here. And a mid lane punishment for RA.
and TT just knew that Leyan was here because they saw him path over that control ward. So it's just a response, a reaction, a pincer. And Leyan, he drops. Simple as that. Really nice counter gank in the mid lane. And RA's consistent attempts at Ucal have finally failed. And level 6 has ticked over. They needed this play to work. So they
I gotta see this beginning play. I think he missed the initial. Yeah, he tried to get the little combo there.
Not only that, crucially as well, one thing I want to know is I think the fact that Death Charge hits Ucal at the time it does actually interrupt the knockbacks. Now look at this, side fight.
Oh, Yao Yao in a little bit of trouble. Leyan wants to make up. He has hit the Predator yet again, and maybe a return kill going over eventually. Yao Yao cannot escape, and Leyan gets RA on the board.
All right, nice cross map. Nice cross map at the very least, and they're going to force Huanfeng even further back.
Okay. We'll flash out of the bottom laner for TT, so that'll be revisited, no doubt. But this is going to continue to be plates going over to RA, and a third one here falling.
Yeah, definitely good response from RA, right? You force Zeri back on the opposite side of the map. I'm surprised they didn't at the very least maybe throw in a little bit more, but they want this dragon, right? You've lost one objective on the map, you're gonna try and cross map the other. They have traded a little bit of gold in that bottom side matchup. You can see Huanfeng falling behind the CS a little bit one-to-one with Sssum. Kind of to be, you know, the nature of the matchup, double ranged and a big range advantage at that over the Zeri and the Nautilus. So just RA's bottom side doing a good job of neutralizing that deficit that the mid jungle has fallen into as TT take the lead there in Beichuan with the Herald. Expect him to maybe drop it on the bottom side eventually.
Oh, what a quick play there to BKR. But it definitely ended up in Yao Yao being a bit overextended there.
Yeah, really, really fast reaction time there. BKR on the ult, and yeah, Leyan is just here to capitalize. Really, really nice. And at the very least, again, we felt like RA's bottom side would potentially be a bit of a win condition looking at the draft, right? And seeing a little bit more jungle focus down there after the mid lane attempts failed is definitely the right course of direction, I feel like.
It is, yeah.
After you don't take down Ucal.
Now we are getting level 6s across the board now. We're looking at first item completions as well. Roa is there for Ucal. We've got the Jack Show for Hoya. A big thing I'm looking at is we now have BKR's ulti on a short cooldown and a lot of utility coming out of the bot lane. I'm looking for cohesion for RA from here on out.
Yeah, so the one thing I always like to gauge when it comes to teams running Ashe is how often do they fish for picks with the arrow, right? Because it's such a short cooldown that a lot of the time you can kind of just throw it out there and just be like, you'll be back in like a minute anyway. And I feel like a lot of teams, the strongest teams with Ashe will pretty much just be throwing it almost off cooldown, right? If they feel like there's a play to be had. So definitely gauge that. As R8 do have quite a few engage options across the board anyway, so it's not like they have to lean on that Ashe ult, but definitely something you always want to see is just a consistent level of fishing for picks with it.
And we did get to see that first dragon go over to RA, so they're scaling in terms of stacking objectives right now. And now, especially looking at that Rift Herald drop that should be coming up pretty soon for Beichuan and the Divine Thunder spike, I'm sure they're going to try to utilize this point of pressure for TT to get more advantage and extend this about 1,000 gold lead they've gotten for it.
Yeah, the question is, whether they feel like they're strong, right? Do they feel like they can somehow find a play on the bomb side right now? BKR still doesn't have flash, so maybe you can pick him off with a numbers advantage. Yeah, top. I mean,
kind of getting it all in. Bale getting it all in. Yao Yao's in some trouble here, having the cask used on him, but able to Spider-Man himself out. Surviving there, but ulti's used. That was the Enchanted Crystal Arrow plus the explosive cask. See Huanfeng able to defend this, but another turret play looking under threat. Beichuan wants to come down here and respond, but not there in time. And 4 turret plays to the bot lane of RA.
Yeah, and Leyan's just doing the correct thing, just kind of man-marking Beichuan away as the RA bottom laners whack away at that tower. It's almost dead. Next wave, they could actually have it if they really want to hard commit to it, but
there's so many plays just going everywhere.
I know, it's really, really insane, the backsplash, but now this Beichuan's got an angle.
Very close. He's got the knockup though. BKR, you don't got much, and that's what happens when you go up against the double ADC composition. Once they use everything, there's not much left.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's kind of just miscommunication from the side of RA. Leyan is on his crop. Like, if you feel like you want to commit to the tower as a team, you've got to keep Gragas there. You have to be there to ensure that Wukong doesn't actually get free access to that bottom side, because you just saw him on vision. So TT kind of just rubbing their hands together, quite happy that there was no one there to defend that play. And it's not even like Gragas went to the mid lane either, it feels like, to defend the Herald, because it was just always going to get a charge in for plates. So all of a sudden now, Zeri gets a kill, and
that's an item spike right there too.
Yeah, has the shield bow, so feels quite bad to the side of RA. We'll see if anything else can be had, because they have been quite proactive in looking to pick specifically around the Gragas. Just need to see it a little bit more and actually yield, you know, a big advantage.
And I think these skirmishes are obviously important, but I'm definitely looking for RA when they come to a head, when they come to a hole and get big team fights, because they're going to be looking for picks. They're going to be trying to get like splitting of fights and then find picks. And they have a lot of tools that need execution, but in themselves have a lot of power, where you just have a lot of front back, you know, let's get some engage going and fight these fights for TT.
Yeah, definitely for TT, it feels like you can almost play this like a front to back, right? With Zeri, Annie, and like just so many bruisers and engage fighters. So I feel like as long as they keep Huanfeng alive, they'll always be left afloat in a team fight, right? They'll always have the opportunity to win.
Okay, Crystal Arrow, here it is. Oh, barely misses. Strive still gets the engage. Oh, both utilities for the bot lane will go wide. And those are the kinds of things you need to be executing on.
Yeah, TT, Ucal didn't even have to flash that chain of corruption, but they see
they're going all the way. Strive didn't connect anything there. Strive just left himself out. Big cast comes through, and that's some of the peel. Double stun for the Timbers, though. As Ucal able to set up Hoya to get into the backline. Ultra Shock Laser. BKR is left out by himself, and all of a sudden, it looks like TT can do no wrong.
Yeah, I mean, off the back of the initial play, it looked quite scuffed, but it ends up working out, and yeah, Strive just sends himself too far forward. Ends up dropping. And now RA, I mean, numbers advantage. They've got their jungler still. They can move towards the dragon, stop the stacking from occurring if they want to right now, just testing this mid lane shove. A little bit of fun going on.
Coming through. Oh no, in some trouble. Use Hoya's going in, and look at that damage. We said we needed to see it, and then Hoya is eviscerating RA.
Man, it's the all-out Ksante at that first item spike as well. It's so powerful this early on in the game, and it only gets that bit stronger once you hit level 11, once you pick up another item as well under your belt. RA feel the pain of the Ksante, and that will just be Herald as well, yeah. So they get the Dragon, they get the Herald. Really nice sequence of play here for TT, and able to just stop RA's aggression in the trap.
And again, it's not for trying for RA. We just keep seeing some of these crucial ultis go wide in the wrong moments, and this part right here, overextension and some confidence from RA, while they tried to pull something back. That stun flash from Ucal sets up TT beautifully.
Yeah, it does. It just means that Hoya can move forward unapologetically. And eventually, of course, in the extended play, we see him pick up that extra kill onto Leyan. So, real nice for TT. Like you said, we've got that Herald now as well. Probably want to just drop it in the mid lane, right? Break the tower. Wave clear on your side of things isn't the best, whereas RA got Breaker, BKR. It's because it's so close. It feels like
is it? But see, I'll have a counter argument. Is it Beaker? Like a science beaker. Yeah, see? You didn't think about that one, huh? You didn't think about that one. Because it was Breaker if he BRK.
That is true. It just, I don't know, it just
rolls
off the tongue easier, doesn't it?
No.
It probably would be Beaker, but like, Breaker, it's such a cool name.
It is such a cool name. I think we'll have to continue to see. You know, maybe it evolves. Maybe he has two different sides of him. You know. Yeah. I do also want to highlight. Now we're getting tired of these team competitions. We've already seen Ucal have a big moment. This is his 13th champion played this split, right? His 13th league champion, the AD coming through here, and he loves to see still adaptation to meta coming through, even though we know Ucal is the carry for this team.
Yeah, I mean, having that added level of flexibility from the mid lane when you're also the carry can be huge, right? Not every game are you gonna have to be on, you know, Yone, Azir, whatever it may be, the hard carry champions. Sometimes, yeah, you know, Annie, hell, I mean, I still call her a carry, to be honest with you. But it's not.
See what Timbers can do? That's a carry right there.
That's a carry, exactly. So, we'll track how he gets on. Personally, you need champions.
Oh, well, speaking of Timbers. Hello, Timbers. You do a lot of damage. Oh, TP. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. No, you can't do it, Strive. He uses his own Timbers. There's two Timbers here. Hey, whose Timbers is whose? It's definitely a Timbers TT dip.
Yeah, as soon as he gets half health, Strive just like, gotta go. But unfortunately, it's Beichuan that makes it here first, and now Hoya's making it here first to the mid lane, but
I'm actually surprised he didn't go for that one.
You know,
I love the little bit of confident play for Ari. Like, oh, you want to step up? You might get hurt. There is a tier 2 going down though to TT in the side lane.
Yeah, you know, one eye of Ksante, got Jackshaw going. Surprised he didn't go forward. Actually, also speaking of Jackshaw, Ksante, haven't seen it since
he came out.
Yeah, since he came out. That was like, Jackshaw was definitely the go-to item when he first dropped, but it feels like
that's because that item was no longer an item, it was the new champion when you bought it.
Exactly. It was the protein shake, right? And,
yes.
Speaking of, I think
Strive a protein shake, all right?
Yeah, I think he needs one after getting beat on like that. Needs a little bit of extra muscle. Wasn't able to survive here. But TT just doing a good job of maneuvering around the map, right? We said whoever broke open the mid lane first would likely have a little bit of success moving towards the side lanes, and so far that has been TT.
Ucal's already about to have his 10th stack of his Roa. He's also got the Shadow Flame. It's just a tanky Andy that does damage to the tanky members of RA, and he's been such a menace so far. And what a come up for Ucal this split, I feel like, you know. Originally coming over here from KT Rolster in 2022 at the start and having a bit of a rough year last year. I really have loved to see just him saying, give me the carry pants and I'll drive you to the finish line.
Yeah, the development has been really nice to see, and TT as a whole forming around him. It's been a really excellent journey. I think definitely proving that they can, you know, try their best to push up into the closer to the top echelons, right? I mean, they've got to prove themselves against some of those top teams after this series. Like we mentioned, this series and the other series today, very important for the playoffs race at 6 and 4. They make it up to 7, you start to feel a bit secure, right? You start to kind of feel happy at week 8. So the work isn't done just yet, and RA looking to undo that, try and make a journey, a legacy for their own to make it into playoffs soon.
All right, we're getting a fight brewing over a third dragon spawn. This will be second dragon for either team, but a 4,000 gold lead sits in the pockets of TT, and now they've already bursted out BKR. He's gone off the map. Huanfeng's a little bit out now as the flash. We got that split fight now, though. Knockups down on the Strive. He's locked down here. Goes gold, and the rest of TT are chasing on the side. His Strive is just left out here. He has to go back in, but he goes right down to the grave. Still, the rest of RA look like they made it out alive, but it's not much to say as another dragon should go to TT.
Yeah, RA just kind of face checking into things across the board. They need to be able to use their ranged engage tools, right? All of them non-committal. Realistically, you've got to try and find a pick first, but it's just so difficult in that kind of situation. And the issue is forced first by Ucal. Ucal finds BKR, blows him up, and at that point, 4v5 from the get-go, strives in the middle of it all. Not able to achieve much. Get the replay of it.
Should have checked the bush.
Wait, whoa.
He did check the bush. Wait.
He thinks it's a ward, and it's so small. I think he thought it was a ward.
Yo, that's sus, man. That is so sus.
Yo,
that thing is so small. That I kind of want to see that again. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel kind of bad for BKR there.
That is ridiculous. Like, holy cow.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too bogged down in it, but oh my god, I've never seen a scan reveal a champion that small on the mid. Like, wow.
I'm in two minds.
Maybe a spectator bug, man. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, but getting into that is a big pick. That is a big setup, and that's two dragons down to TT and further map control, right? We were talking about that 4,000 gold lead. Well, it's still nice and pretty, and they're moving Yao Yao now with Beichuan to get even more.
See if they can steal away this red. They can. Beichuan gets it. 2 items as well. Bloodthirster available for Huanfeng. Typically, if you've got a DPS AD carry, 2 items is kind of like one of the criteria check marks to start trying to poke and prod at Baron. So we'll see if that comes to be fruition here.
Fight. It's just
wet noodle stack. That's what it is.
That's what it is. It's just it's a mini game.
It's
our favorite. It's our favorite new mini game for top lane.
I mean, look, all I'm saying is if you're playing a tank and you're going to tank on a side lane, just kite him out every 4 seconds. Just weave that water attack in.
I just wish that we would get full-on stacking builds. Like, I want to see like heart steals, like all of everything.
I mean, sir,
see it all.
do you forget?
We have seen a little bit of that, but yes, I do, and I also remember some other things that happened in that game. But now we try to see a flash from Cube out. Now, oh my God! Okay, well, Leyan is just gone. Ucal has TP, but that's a Baron start for TT at 23 minutes.
Do you know what else is gone? This Baron. TT are going to snap that one up. Strive is going to come down here and see if he can find Hoya. I mean,
that's a little greedy. That's a little greedy. Is he going to go through? He's going to try to push through Cube. I wanted to see if he would just try to use the escape tool. He wants to angle it. He's going to angle it back. Come on. No, at some point, maybe he'll just keep duping them. He's like, angles don't matter here. He tried to get to the Hex Gate. There is no Hex Gate for you today, my friend. He did end up getting that trade, though. At least R8 get 1 kill back, but it'll be hell to pay on the map because TT got a Baron.
Yeah, let's see how this pick happens, right? It had to have just been,
good stuff. Double flashes, communication on a point.
Really nice from TT.
We don't talk about that. We don't, we don't.
He thought he was further away than he was. Okay, guys?
That's the debuff from being so small in the scanners. I don't know. They're trying to make it all work.
You got little legs, man.
Yeah.
Little legs, you got to get somewhere.
Is this so scary though when you see that? Oh, I don't want to go back to it, man. You just see this tiny little thing, and all of a sudden, giant timbers in your face. You're like, oh my God, I'm just a little ADC support. Now maybe they will find Ucal in the woods, but he's got a bunch of friends nearby, so this Baron buff should mean a tier 2 tower on the bot side for TT.
Yeah, absolutely. Slow siege here. There is a bit of poke available to RA, but both members aren't here right now. Sssum's in the mid lane. KR.
He's got 3rd item on him now. That's kind of big.
Yeah, it is. He's actually, by item completion, he is slightly ahead of Huanfeng as Beichuan actually. Oh, good warrior trick start. But
Oh,
the cycle.
there, it's still going. Oh, God, Ucal. And it, the tipper. No way he got out of there. Hoya, a little bit of distraction on the pack, but TT get away with robbery, it feels like. And Strife just almost dies to tippers. Beichuan, the clone gets knocked back, duping the rest of RA. And it is such a back and forth fight, but TT feel like they come out on top. And now we got a dragon in 30 seconds. That would be sole point for them.
Yeah, it seemed like Beichuan before all of that as well also blew his Cyclone. Saw him using it on the way for the mid lane, so either a misplay or something happened. Maybe looking for a turnaround play? I mean, no one was really there. I'm not sure what happened. Looks like
some strange things afoot on the Rift today, Jamada. There's some strange things.
Yeah, some odd stuff going on today, huh? I mean,
must be a full moon on the Rift. Did I break?
It was quite, did you break me? No. Not yet.
Not yet. The puns are coming. Don't worry. The puns are coming. We did get 2 rods into a hat though for Ucal, so he'll be coming out with a lot more strength now, not just the tankiness. And that will be a dragon gifted over to TT. 3rd dragon of the game for them. As we see that Void Staff actually completed for Leyan, going that full AP build with the Predator, but still hasn't found that necessary big in that we were looking for the composition of RA.
Yeah, a lot of initial burst damage. I will say, why does he have a Void Staff? You know, who's he worried about? I guess he. It's good for Hoya, right? But like, who's he? Like, why? You know, Zonya's question mark. Then again,
the world will never know.
The world will never know. Maybe there's some mathematics behind it to always kind of keep yourself
the
at
math
very
hammer.
high. Yeah, the math hammer. And hey, I mean, Gragas does have pretty decent ratios, all things considered. So you don't necessarily need crazy high AP, but again, with good ratios, you want crazy high AP, so you can blow stuff up.
Oh, they found Ucal again. This time he's not getting out. Leyan gets the kill onto him, and that's maybe some of that AP penetration coming through. Now Hoya has found the back line, maybe himself. Another tower has gone over to RA. Hoya getting kited out a little bit here, but TT play their hand a little zealously and end up getting punished themselves.
Yeah, all right. Well, they lose Ucal. Not entirely sure why Ucal went through that gate. It felt a little bit reminiscent of Ning. I'm not sure if you watched that series.
I did.
Last weekend, where he was just, I don't know, the Hex Gates weren't Ning's friend, that series.
Sometimes they do that. Though. They lead you to bad portals, okay?
It's the bad place.
It's the bad place. Speaking of the bad place, I don't know if we want to go back here.
So to be fair, he had Beichuan like right there. He didn't immediately move forward, and Ari just did a really good job.
Every ulti used on it.
Ari, right, the reality of the situation is Ari just found a really good pick, right? Like they actually just chucked their ults at Ucal because he was right in front of them. It does look kind of funny, and you know we are storytellers here. And at the end of the day,
right.
the pool did lead him to the bad place. So,
yeah, he probably got brought. But you know what's a good place for TT is the fact that Huanfeng has 3 items on Zeri. And you know, I feel like that automatically gets handed the Zeri can do things card. And Beichuan maybe a little bit caught out there. You cannot get away from the depth charge once it connects, and all the poke. It's not enough.
They just threw out 4 on them.
But their cooldowns are pretty low, at least on a majority of them.
Yeah. But you didn't even find the pick. It's just got to feel a little bit frustrating. That's all. Baron spawns 30 seconds. Like you say, low cooldowns on the majority of those elements shouldn't be a big issue, but TT will want to force the issue right now once they know they've got that autonomy advantage. Try and just take away some vision here. You can see, it's like the observers just
It's so scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's not
no
Andy.
vision. That isn't an indeed. And he's in that top rush.
Oh,
and he's in that top rush.
Oh my goodness! Ucal gets the turnaround, and Leyan is already gone. Oh no, they've also caught out. Oh, Sssum is gone. Cube, you're pretty tanky, so you will make it out of that one. But this is a full court press from TT, and it looks like they're turning back onto the Baron.
Yeah, easy Baron, easy as you like. And they'll also probably get the Dragon in 90 seconds time as well. Really nice picks back to back there. Dredge line from Yao Yao and pull off. It's just, yeah, 3 items on an Annie will do that to you.
This is a
really
second
nice
Baron in 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's been pretty high tempo from TT, right? At the end of the day, and Leyan just Leyan just wants vision.
Man.
He just wants vision. What can you do in this kind of situation? The answer is not much. As you see, top side Strive teleports into the middle of too many members, and Sssum just trying to rotate up, see if he can help the rest of his team. Gets caught out by Hoya. Now TT full control of the map.
Oh, here comes the gang squad. Using the arcane buff, and it all goes onto the warrior trickster. Oh my goodness. It's the trigger pull there. We'll see if TT with the Cyclone can get something back. Oh, Cube, you're not big enough to take that up. The cast comes through. Beichuan goes back on a Strive. They get one back at least. The zombie doing some work. Strive goes in, goes golden now though. Ultra Shock laser across the Strive. Caught out, has the tippers, but can't get any damage back. Does get it one trade, and the Ultra Shock laser comes across Huanfeng. Does get his shield bow popped, but the Baron buff is still aplenty, and 3 members of TT pushing the base.
Yeah, 3 on the bottom side. Rage advantage does still lie with RA though for now. What are TT going to do? Do they want to just go back towards the Dragon when they don't have a jungler? Feels like it's a little bit of a risk. They will take this tier 2 for now. Leyan is in the mid lane and he's showing. What will TT do about this? No smite advantage. Will they just be able to kind of man mark? Yeah, no, they're just going to reset. All right.
Yeah.
Fast break is of course in the Baron next game, so they'll be back out on the map soon.
It'll be easy peasy. If you kind of look back at the initial start of this, right, Beichuan does get caught, but in the end, it's a bit of a pull in from TT that gets RA caught off guard.
Yeah, and able to just focus down Cube in isolation. The rest of RA not able to send back any return fire. Step charge, keep Strive where he was. As we come out that replay, RA, they have to stop this or it's Hex Soul. Hex Soul almost end the game entirely here. Ucal.
Oh, here they come, and they've already found the backline. Flashes coming out everywhere. Everybody's running for the hills. Cube is left out by himself once again. He needs to try to run out. Now they got the re-engage from Hoya over there. He's just taking a 1v4 right now, and he feels confident to do so. Huanfeng comes across, lightning grab. Huanfeng! He'll find his 8th kill of the game, and Strive will also fall to Hoya. Should die to the minion? No, he'll come back a little bit. This is Beichuan. Maybe he'll find it. Maybe one of these dudes will found it. Oh, and it's Hoya that gets it in the end.
Yeah, Huanfeng goes large over the wall as Hoya gets the chase down onto Strive, and that should just be about the finishing touch on this game.
Huanfeng is 8-0
to close it out. Huanfeng might be 8-0. Yeah, you're not wrong. He's been the beneficiary of pretty much every single play that's happened for TT. Not died yet. RA haven't been able to shut him down.
Okay. Oh,
but yeah, back up.
Huanfeng says, no, that's my friend. Oh my god, he does so much damage. He has the GA completed now, so he can play with so much confidence. This Zeri is officially online. I think we put a lot of focus on Ucal and Strive, this mid lane matchup. Well, it kind of petered out. At this point, it's all the Huanfeng show. If you cannot take down Huanfeng, you lose the game for RA.
Yeah, I mean, we said, right? If it wasn't mid lane for TT, it would be Huanfeng, right? That's just how TT works. An 8-1 or 8-0-1 popping off. Oh no, Ucal. Oh, not again.
Oh, that's scary little bear. Not a little bear, that's a big bear. Leyan down for 45 seconds now. They're going to stop Ucal's back here. He does have stun back up and missing the chains of corruption there from Sssum. And CT push back forward and look at these inhib towers that are left standing.
Yeah, Baron, not up to 2 minutes. Lost that buff a little while ago, but Soul is available and RH have to respect it at the moment. With that numbers advantage, no Leyan. That just means they're not packing the extra punch that they need to find a successful fight.
This is a 10,000 gold deficit that's just very difficult to contest in whatsoever. And honestly, TT, I feel like not able to get as much as maybe they could have here in their push, but they will have to back off as they lost their Baron buff. They were able to get one of the inhibs in top side, but the resets will come through. And it looks like we might actually end up getting to full items for a couple of these carries.
Yeah, how much gold does Huanfeng have? That's the question. What can he build last here? Does he have enough?
He got it.
Walk off the platform. He's
got the PD. Oh,
and RA paused. They're scared. No, I'm kidding. They don't know whether or not it's RA.
It's the full item series. Get me out.
Well, I feel like it's quite rare.
This game is so over. We got a pause. Sedge. Well, it is what it is, and I think TT will just be waiting to put the finishing touches on this one. I think there might be some possibilities, obviously, for RA. We said the biggest thing for them was their bar of execution of a comp. They have a lot of catch-out tools. They have a lot of things that create spacing and give you vision, give you communication tools, but we haven't necessarily seen that come together just yet, Jamada.
No, the execution floor has not been met. And it's a bit of a shame. RA still have an opportunity, I suppose, if they can somehow actually lock down Huanfeng specifically with all of those ultimates, but we just haven't seen it come to fruition, plain and simple. And I feel like once that 2v2 in the mid jungle didn't go the way that they wanted it to, for RA, they just felt a little bit lost. I feel like that was their whole game plan. And once that didn't actually come through, they tried to play through the bottom side, but TT matched them there as well.
Well, we're back in. As looks like it was just a quick fix. And that PD is still completed, so it wasn't that. But I do like to see kind of now TT put the crossing of the T's, dotting of the I's here as Huanfeng try to catch out a lowly Strive in the side lane. One been missing a couple shots there, but has the rest of the team come out. Flash did come through from Strive. Trying to make the great escape to the Hex Gates. Should make it out, but right into Beichuan, a waiting arm. As he does have the Cyclone initially prepped. And Jake Cruiser arrow actually connects. And Strive makes it away.
Yeah, kind of big. The arrow stops Beichuan's recast of the Cyclone. Change to see could have maybe come through once Yaya made it through the Hex Gate. Doesn't end up happening though. So RA saved their mid laner for now. But Baron's up, and you know TT are just going to start it on spawn. So what can RA do about it is the big question now. Again, ultimates, they are there. You just need to connect by Ucal.
They're trying to catch them out. Strive goes golden though. Now the rest of RA want to try to make something happen. Hoya is on the back. You got the double knockup. Strive out with a little bit of health. Goes right back in. Lightning crash from Huanfeng. Helps separate him though. And look at Huanfeng popping up. The man's trying to flash forward but can't find the distance. But this is all she wrote for RA as Leyan chased down by the rest of TT. He might be able to make it out with this little quick beat. Ucal tries to flash for it. Everybody's hungry for blood. Because who's going to get it this time? Is it going to be Hoya? It's yet again going to Hoya.
Nice stuff. And it's an excellent turn again from TT on the Baron. And they should be able to just close out this game number one. It's been a bit lacking.
A little bit. 12,000.6 in the lead. And TT... It was a little bit of a slow start. They knew their game plan. They knew they could get resources to Huanfeng. It all works out in the end because he's playing Zeri. And what a game it was. Number one going to TT. And RA definitely maybe reeling a little bit after that one.
League is a marathon, not a race, like you said. Slow start, but at the end of the day, TT very happy to just let Huanfeng scale up. Got a bunch of those early kills. And frankly was able to just carry the game on his back. And there was nothing RA could do about it. It feels like we had a very, you know, telegraphed game plan, I suppose, from RA. Weren't able to meet that execution floor, and because of it, TT capitalized so happily. Ucal plenty of times finding massive picks out of brush, out of fog of war, and that just set up the team fight success in the early stages to give Huanfeng the space he needed to carry those team fights.
Yeah, and I love it because we had one of Strive's comfort champions in the Sylas come through. We were looking at, you know, Ucal expanding his champion pool to some extent, but when we came into this one, we were saying the mid laners are a little overlooked. Well, we could overlook that this time around because it definitely came to the Huanfeng show, and I definitely want to see, do RA find a little bit more priority over the Zeri? Do we see it banned away? Things like that going in game two, because you need to get yourself on a common ground, at least in bottom lane. And I like the attempt getting BKR for the first time in here, getting a little bit of that utility bot lane with some communication power, but you maybe need a little bit more stability. And BKR, at least his track record in competitive, is all those engaged supports we know so well in the LPL.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like the Ashe pick wasn't necessarily the problem, but I agree. Maybe some extra comfort, right? He was definitely hitting the mark with a lot of the Ashe arrows. It just felt like the capitalization wasn't necessarily there. So I feel like for RA, the bigger issue actually stems from the fact that they kind of just got out mid 2v2'd in that department, and it bled a little bit too hard into the skirmishes once those actually went started going rather. And to me, the bot side sort of secondary backup plan wasn't much a backup plan, to be honest with you. And Huanfeng consistently.
Oh my God, Ucal outdid him.
Okay, well, you know, that's
we
fine
go. We
too.
erase everything we just said. I'm just joking.
It was all Ucal after all. I mean,
It was all Ucal.
He did have a superb game, right? At the end of the day, and
He called out Leyan so many times. I mean, that's a pain.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like just generally, RA weren't necessarily all on the same page. I think the biggest point of pain for me was when they could have picked up that first tower on the bomb side of the map, and then Leyan just kind of left Sssum and BKR to do it themselves. When you knew Beichuan was around, you have to stay there and man mark the jungler so that that 2v2 can continue in isolation. After that, it just felt like Huanfeng getting that one kill set him and Sssum at parry. From there, the game was super playable for TT, who were already winning the mid-jungle matchup as is, and then had a winning bottom side to boot.
I'm really wondering where the big brain analysis is going to come from, who gets MVP here, because, my God, you look at those numbers like, look at the primary numbers, it's definitely a Huanfeng game, but you look at all the numbers underneath, I don't know, Ucal's looking pretty good. We're going to take a small little break while we get ready for our game number 2 of the day, so make sure you don't go anywhere.